sampling distribution. Part 1. Objectives. Explain the sampling and sampling distribution. Solve for mean, variance, and standard deviation of sampling distribution. In this video, you will use scientific calculator to solve problems. Introduction. In real life, calculating parameters of population is usually impossible because populations are very large. Rather than investigating the whole population, we take a sample, calculate a statistic related to the parameter of interest, and make an inference. The sampling distribution of the statistic is the tool that tells us how close is the statistic to the parameter. What is sampling and sampling distribution? It is the foundation of all inferential statistics. To conduct inferential statistics, you have to compare a sample to some sort of distribution. What is parameter? It refers to a numerical index describing a characteristic of a population. What are the sampling methods? Number 1. Simple random sampling. It involves selecting a sample size as n from a population of size capital N, so that all elements of the population have equal chances of being part of the sample. Examples are lotteries, tables of random numbers, automatic random number generation. Systematic random sampling. Systematic random sampling, it involves using random start to determine the first element of the sample, and the selection of the rest of the sample is done symmetrically. Example, with every k interval, where k is the number of population divided by number of n as a sample. Stratified sampling. It involves dividing the population into groups, called strata, according to the sum chosen classification category, such as age, gender, geographic location, and so on. Subsamples from each stratum are selected by simple random sampling. Cluster sampling. It is the element of the population are divided into two groups called clusters. Clusters are naturally occurring, like barangays, cities, or municipalities. Samples are obtained from each cluster by SRS, or sample random sampling. What is sampling? A sampling distribution is a probability distribution of statistics obtained from a larger number of samples drawn from a specific population. The sampling distribution of a given population is a distribution of frequency of a range of different outcomes that could possibly occur for statistics of a population. What is sampling distribution mean? The sampling distribution of statistics is the distribution of all possible values taken by the statistics when all possible samples of a peak size n are taken from the population. It is a theoretical idea. We do not know actually build it. What is population? It is the number of people in a city, or town, region, country, or world. Population is usually determined by a process called census. It is a process of collecting, analyzing, compiling, and publishing data. The two types of data. Quantitative, something that can be counted or measured, and then the average across individuals in the population. Example, your height, your age, and your IQ score. Categorical, something that falls into one several categories. What can be counted is the proportion of individuals in each category. Example, your gender, your hair color, your blood type. Type A, Type B, Type AB, Type O. How do you figure it out? Ask, what are the n individuals units in the sample of size n? What is being recorded about those individuals per unit? Problem number 1. A rowing team consists of 4 rowers who weigh 152, 156, 160, and 164 pounds. Find all possible random samples with replacement of size 2 and compute for the sample mean for each one. Use them to find the probability distribution, the mean, and the standard deviation of the sample of the mean. So guys, the given is 152, 156, 160, and 164. I repeat, in the given problem, 152, 156, 160, and 164. First, you will add this one and divide by 2. So if we add 152 plus 156 plus 160 plus 164 and divided by 4, the answer is 632 divided by 4 is 158. So the mean or the average is 158. So the formula for variance and standard deviation of sampling distribution, this is probability of x, or the standard deviation, is equals to the summation of x squared times probability of sum of x minus the u squared over the mean. Solution. The following table shows all possible samples with replacement of size n is 2, along with the mean of each. Again, the data given in the problem solving: 152, 156, 160, and 164. So, I repeat, random sampling data taken in a 2. Take note, 2. It means to say there are 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, we will start from 152. So this will be the 152, 156, 160, and 164. 152 and 152, you place it here. 152 and 156, you place it here. 152 and 160, you place it here. 152 and 164, you place it here. 156. 156 and 152, you place it here. 156 and 156, you place it here. 156 and 160, you place it here. 156 and 164, you place it here. 160, this one. 160 and 152, you place it here. 160 and 156, you place it here. 160 and 160, you place it here. And 160 and 164, you place it here. 164. 164 and 152, you place it here. 164 and 156, you place it here. 164 and 160. So we have 152, 154, 156, 158, 160, 162, and 162. Look at the sample mean. So therefore, if I have 152 here, how many 152 here in all the mean? We have only one. That's why 116. 154. 1 and 2. That's why it's 216. 156. 1, 2, and 3. That's why it's 316. 158. How many mean? 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's why it's 416. 160. 1, 2, and then 3. I repeat, 1, 2, and 3. That's why it's 316. 162. 1, and then 2. So that's why it's 260. And then 164, it's only 1. It's 116. So we will solve for the mean. So this will be the explanation. We know that 152 is only 1. And then 154, it's only 2. 156, it's only 3. 158, it's only 4. 160, it's only 3. 162, it's only 2. And 164, it's only 1. So we have already 16 mean that we get in the different average. Solve for the mean of discrete random variable. So this is another formula. Mean summation times probability of x. So 152 times 116 plus 154 times 216 plus 156 times 316 plus 158 times 416 plus 160 times 316 plus 162 times 216 plus 164 times 116. If you will add this and get the average is also 158. So this is another technique for getting the mean of discrete random variable. Guys, you will use your scientific calculator in order to add and divide this average. Let's solve for the variance. So we have 152, you will write squared. And then multiply by 116 plus 154 squared multiplied by 216 plus 156 squared multiplied by 316 plus 158 squared times 416 plus 160 squared times 316 plus 162 squared times 216 plus 164 squared times 116. And the answer of all this, take note guys, this is the formula. If you will add all these numbers, the answer is 24,974. And the formula for the mean is 158. Take note, the average is 158. So you will square this one. 158 times 158. 24,974 minus 158 times 158 and the square root of 10. So, if you will get the square root of 10, that will be the standard deviation. I repeat, if you will square root the square root of 10, that will be the standard deviation.
Love is sacred, love is kind, but love is only a state of mind. It's in your heart and in your soul, where nothing hurts like letting go of all you had, go of all you want, and surrender to a higher cause. And we will jump straight over the field. I know it's right, oh baby, this is how I like to feel. I know feel.